Good morning and welcome to the Nationwide Platforms webinar all about the Titan boom. Thanks for joining us today. This is part of a series of webinars that we've been doing over the last few months and will continue into the new year. So if you are interested in the world of powered access at all, I'd invite you to have a quick look at the website on our webinars page, where you'll be able to see this recording later if you ever need to see it again. Or see our previous recordings and catch news of any further webinars that we'll be doing. You'll also be able to see information about those on our social media pages if you follow any of those, and just some general news about the business. Joined today by my colleague Matt Parfitt, who will be running us through his presentation all about the Titan boom. If you do have any questions, please just let us know in the chat at any point and we'll go through them all at the end of the presentation. So Matt, if you'd like to take us through, that would be great.
Okay, good morning everyone. Yeah, Jordan, thanks for the introduction there. So yeah, my name is Matt Parfitt. I run our strategic accounts team. Been in Nationwide, as the screen says, a long while across all sectors, delivering a number of these types of talks for our customer base. And from a product point of view, that's my bag, and I've been involved in this particular product for many years. You know, I was sort of a part of the original group of people who justified the investment. You know, when we brought these machines into the fleet, you know, and we've gone from the first one to having 19 of these Titan booms in the fleet, and that's no mean fleet because these machines are are worth a lot of money, 100 grand plus. So. Let me take you through the benefits of this machine, because it's a fantastic piece of kit, and whilst it's still 5 or 6 years old in our fleet, there's still no other platform that does what this machine can do. So again, if it's something you've not seen before, then yeah, this is definitely going to be something which will open your eyes, and it might be something in 5 or 6 months, 5 or 6 weeks, or even a couple of years, before the application comes up, but at least you're going to know that this machine's there and that you can contact us at that point to give you the advice on the application of that. So the Titan, in summary, is 3 machines in one. Yeah, it's very, very versatile. It's got the chassis and a lifting capability, more like a telehandler. It's got the reach of a telescopic boom, and it's got the basket of a diesel scissor, so it does incorporate 3 machines all into one. The basic rundown of this machine is that it is by IPATH standards a 3B, so that means it's a boom, yeah, because it goes up and it goes out beyond the chassis, and the 3 is because this machine does actually drive at height. Whilst it needs the legs to go to full height, it can elevate without the legs up to drive to 12.2 meters, as the next bullet point shows you. So this machine will go 20 meters straight up with the legs down, or 14.6 meters straight out horizontally with those legs deployed, or with the legs up. Obviously that means you can then drive at height, but that means it'll give you a working height of 12.2 meters straight up, or 10 meters straight out horizontally. So you've got the versatility of that platform to be able to do a number of different things. Like I said, this machine has the lifting capability of a telehandler, and that means it can lift 1350 kilos in all of its working envelope. It's got this huge deck on it, which is 6.7 meters by 2.28. It's as big as any diesel scissor deck that we've got, and the width of it, when you're positioning the machine to do its job, is 3.7 meters in width. And that's with the legs down, and that's something to consider when you're using the machine. So obviously those legs will come out wider than the deck on the front end, in terms of how you position. From a leveling point of view, it's incredibly versatile in terms of the gradients you can put this machine on. It's got a 10 degrees max leveling capability, which is 7 degrees side to side, or 3 degrees front to back, which again makes it more gradable than any other boom in our fleet. You can see there from the wheel loads, yeah, 185 psi or 18,000 kilograms. It's heavy, and you need it to be heavy to be able to shift that type of weight at height. And all of the Titans in our fleet have been fitted with Cali valves, spark arresters, and power to the basket. So I've got a video, I'll show it to you at the end, because then I can switch on to it, which will probably bring this more to life for you. But we've got plenty of different, supporting documentation on this machine. Look, obviously we've got the video. We've also got a familiarization link that you can go on our website to, which will also sort of give you an explanation on how this becomes a 3B boom from an iPath point of view. So I'll take you through some of the additional detail between some of the summarized features that I'll talk to you about. So this machine is got a huge deck on it, yeah. So 6.7 by the 2.8, and this machine, once you push it forward, once you use the telescopic ability, it puts you into areas inaccessible by a scissor lift, because the machine can stand back from where you need to go to, punch out the telescope using the boom arm, and then put that large deck capability to your working edge. As you can see from the bottom image on the left there, if you've got grass or if you've got weight limits or a finished floor that you don't want to damage, this machine can sit back from those areas, but still present you to the working edge with the basket size that of a diesel scissor. Or it might be surfaces or cavities in your way, or it might be a fixed structure. It might be something you need to get up and over. Anyway, this machine can sit back and boom over those areas. Like I said to you on the previous slide, with the stabilizers down, you can go 20 up or 14.6 out, and then with the stabilizers up, meaning you can drive at height, it'll go 12.2 straight up or 10 meters straight out. So that's your sort of cut and thrust of this machine in two of those different dimensions. With the huge deck, you get this workstation, this workshop in the sky. Because it's so big, you've got the ability to do far more things on this platform now because it is so huge. And the big thing about it, you can see from the top right-hand side image there, this machine gives you that huge workstation right up against the edge of your building envelope. Yeah. So, and you'll know better what that will mean for you guys, but that means for us, you've got that ultimate positioning versatility to do a job with a large working space. Now, like I said to you, that machine will lift 1350 kilos in all of its configurations. But if you look to the bottom right-hand image there, you can see in that yellow zone, you've got a 900 kilo load maximum. And then you've got 450 kilos evenly distributed on either side of that yellow zone. That's how the 1350 is broken down. Yeah. But I mean, and I'm sure you're seeing how possibly you could use this, but this enables load management like never before. I mean, you can put palletized stock on there, whether that be bricks, panels, blocks, or boards, stillage materials. So a lot of these images I've took here from my industrial service customer base. So they'd be putting, skillet stillages, scaffold, scaffy tubes, or fitting bins. And with the material handling attachments that we have, and I'll show you them in a bit, it allows a number of other types of materials to be used effectively at home. With this platform, you've also got an incredible amount of versatility. So I'll touch on it a bit, but what this machine has is in addition to presenting a large working space to an edge, it's also got what we call a 2.8 meter slider underneath it, which if you look to the top right-hand side image, you can see how this machine uses that slider to a great advantage. So when you're end on, as this top right-hand image is, that means that the basket from underneath can push forward a further 2.8 meters. So that will take you to your working edge and 2.8 meters beyond that to be able to close the gap between whatever you need to do, beyond that building work envelope edge. Yeah. So that will enable exact positioning, because through this machine being able to rotate and slide forward, you can get in the position you want at the angle you want. You can get above and over obstructions and close the gap, as I said, for exit or material management. Something else for this machine as well, you can see very clearly from the middle image there, this machine will rotate. And I don't mean from the chassis, this rotates from the basket. And that will rotate 180 degrees or 90 degrees left, come back to center, and then 90 degrees right. So gives you ultimate, positional flexibility or versatility to get in that right configuration to do a job. Yeah. So if you're end on, yeah, you can push forward 2.8 meters. If you're side on, your 2.8 meters then brings you to the edge of the working envelope. Or if you're somewhere in the middle, you'll be a mixture between both of them. Okay. This machine, if you ever heard it, you'd understand what I'm talking about. It's 4x4 as any other platform gets. It's high torque powered 4x4, oscillating front and rear axles, site ready alongside any other rough terrain MEWP you'll ever see. When the machine is stowed or in drive mode, it's 40 degrees gradable, so it'll drive up, most inclines that you can put in front of it. But when the machine's in the air, and particularly with the legs down, yeah, you've got your 10 degrees full leveling capability. And this machine will level from a number of different areas. It will level from the jack legs, as you can see. It also levels from the chassis, which pivots at the point that it needs to. And it also levels from the basket. Yeah, so there's 3 points of leveling, which gives you 10 degrees or 7 side to side and 3 front to back. Yeah. So again, this just puts you in the right position, regardless of the terrain, up to a certain level, to do the job that you've asked the Titan to do. Something else to consider, when you're handling materials, because obviously you can use this machine to carry a lot of weight. We've got a number of attachments which enable that to be done safely and productively. So on the top, on the right-hand side there, you've got the top right, which is for cladding panels, the middle, which is for ducting. They're like V-heads. The bottom right is for tubes and boards, but we've also got an attachment for like an A-frame for glass. We've also got a side tray which sits on the edge of the Titan to carry glass on the outside of the basket, lent towards the handrails. And there's a sheet metal rack, a workbench, and through our Blue Sky team, a number of other attachments which we've bespoke designed in the past to enable you to get your job done. And the reason why the Titan's been used for a lot of those bespoke designs is because it can lift so much weight, because it's so versatile. It suits a number of these particularly challenging jobs, and with a bespoke design attachment, it allows it to be done that much safer, that much more productively. Something when you look a bit closer at the Titan, beyond its sort of big three features, you've also got some other particularly unique aspects of this machine. Because it's a boom, you have to be obviously clipped on, with your lanyard and your harness. And if you look top right there, you can see that there's a running harness wire on the Titan, which allows you to walk up and down the basket with the lanyard attached, almost walking the doggy behind you, which enables you to use the space that the Titan provides, rather than being fixed to a particular anchor point and not being able to use the 6.7 meters. And this lanyard wire is on both sides of the deck. And then there's 2 fixed lanyard points by the MEWPs controls, which means you can transfer from one side to the other with ease. Beyond that, this machine has as versatile steering options as any other super boom in our fleet, at least. So this has got crab steer, which means both wheels will sort of pivot in the same direction, and it can crab to the side. It's got 4-wheel round steer, which means you can maneuver a bit more effectively for such a big platform, or you've got your standard 2-wheel front drive. And something else, again, unless you see this platform, sometimes it's hard to get your head around. But hopefully these images depict it. With the handrails, you've got 2 center sections, which all you need to do is pull a wire and unclip a D-clip, and the center handrail on both sides will pull back and slide to the side, which means with your palletized stock of bricks or boards, or your stillage scaffold, or whatever you want to put on it, that means you can load the material at the deck level without having to get over the handrails. And that's quite useful when you've got some sort of palletized stock, or like I said, anything else bulky, as the images depict there, to drop onto that yellow load zone. So that does enable this machine to do much more with materials than you probably would think normally, because on a diesel scissor, if you were to use this for the same activity, they don't have handrails to slide to the side. You have to come above the handrails, which presents an issue in terms of being able to position and load those materials then on the deck. Other bits, you've got your onboard power, 110 volt Jenny. power to platform. They're all earth bonded, and they're all petrochem and refinery compliant from a spark arrestor or Chowin valve point of view. They've all got load tie down points, which is inevitably something you'll need to do if you're on a large project. Yeah, they're the main things really. Yeah, so that's some of the additional features there of the Titan. If anyone's interested, you know, there is a case study. There's a number of case studies, but this is the most prominent one that we had with a customer of ours called Billfinger up in the North Lincolnshire area a few years ago. And there's some really good stats on how this enabled them to save a lot of time, a lot of cost, and improve safety through the use of the Titan by getting materials from, you know, the ground level to the 18-meter entry point, instead of doing it how traditionally they would have done it, which is by rope and wheel. Yeah, they've done it with the Titan, done it quicker, saved on a load of cost, load of time, and they've done it a damn sight safer. So again, that can be shared if anyone wishes. So just to finish off, I'll just show you the video of this machine, and I'll talk you through it, which hopefully addresses anything you're not sure about. These are some of the things I've already talked to you about. So you've got the machine there, yeah. Obviously you've got the power, you've got the reach, you've got the versatility. So you can see this in speedy mode. The machine and the legs, they do fold down. So that's, like I said, how you get the 3.7 meters width. Depending on the gradient, it will jack more or less. And obviously with the legs down, you get that full outreach, the full working height. Yeah. So the machine there at stowed level is going to give you first and foremost up 14.6 meters worth of horizontal outreach, which, do you know what, when I show people this in the flesh, this could be an application for this machine on its own, rather than with any need to go anywhere. You might have a river or services or something in the way that you need to get to an area to do a job. So at this point, I've retracted it in. I'm now showing the slider, which is that 2.8 meters forward or back, with the basket rotated, you know, left or right or end on. So again, you can see the ease of the operation there. That's almost because I'm driving it. And that's 180 degrees. Yeah. And then if you want to go straight up, the machine here then fires up the turbocharged engine, and away she goes. So you've got two boom functions. You've got your main primary lift, and then once the primary boom goes horizontal, the telly booms then come out to give you that full 20 meters working height. Yeah, and like I've said to you, all of the functions of the Titan will continue to work throughout all of those different functionalities. So this is me there, just opening up the side handrail. So again, hopefully the images have shown you, but this practically shows you how it happens and how you're still clipped on, still safe. And then when you're finished, you just roll the handrail safely into place, and then you lock them down by the pin at ground level. And that's unique on any platform. I've never seen it before. So that's your grab steer, your 4-wheel round steer, and then your 2-wheel front, which is about the standards any other platform will get. There you go, there's your grab steer. Happy days. Okay, so this is just giving you a shot of the inside. That's your huge deck area, 2.8 by 6.7. That's your load zone, and then those black pockets are where the attachments, when we need them to, will go in there. There are all your decals, and obviously if you've got a load in there, you can tie that down using the tie down points. That's your controls, fairly standard, which is movable. Very easy to use despite being such a big advanced machine. And these are, like I said, are some of the attachments. So if I just come out of that, my friends, is the end of the presentation on the Titan boom. Like I said, we've got 19 of these. I've laboured really the Titan 60, which has got the 20 meters full height, or 14.6 meters horizontal. We do have one Titan 40 in the fleet, which goes slightly less height and less outreach, but lifts 1.8 ton. But we've got one of them, and that's on a long-term high currently down at Hinkley Point C. So that's not really of use to you guys at the moment. But we've got 18 of the Titan 60s, and that's something which hopefully will be an option for you at some point in your time on a construction site. So Jordan, that's it for the presentation. Is there any questions?
Oh yeah, if you do have any questions to our people watching, yeah, please let us have those now. But I would just like to remind you, as Matt said, there's actually a range of other videos about these on our YouTube page. So you're very welcome to watch any of those. Just got a couple of things I wanted to ask actually, and Matt actually was kind enough to show me and a number of other employees here one of these machines in operation, and they really do have to be seen to be believed. They're very, very capable, and they can do the sorts of things that other machines they can't even get near it, Matt. It is a unique capability set that they bring together, isn't it? Yeah,
100%. It does. Yeah, it's got the versatility that no other platform out there. There's not even one which has replicated it since this machine was launched, which is a great unique part for us to offer our customers, because like I said, it's versatile and it does the job that no other platform can. So yeah, ready to hire, ready to go.
Yeah, and I think even though it is, it's got that sense of scale about it, it's that kind of I think that may put people in the wrong frame of mind about it, because it's not just a machine that you need for huge jobs, is it? That versatility of capability means you could use it in a huge number of uses.
Absolutely, this can be used. It's been used a lot of the time in tunnels. It's been used on cladding jobs, M&E jobs, ducting, where underneath and around bridges, certainly on motorways. I've had it onto plenty of, as you can see from the images here, plenty of petrochemical facilities, and within standard construction jobs, just because it gets you with a large deck area above an area underneath that isn't accessible by a scissor lift. So yeah, it's one of those platforms that has a number of uses, whether that be for one day or 6 months.
Yeah, and you touched on productivity as well, but it does seem as well that although there are jobs where you may be able to get the task done with something smaller, kind of traditional scissor, there are actually really big benefits to using something like this that will help you do it a huge amount faster.
Yeah, well, 100%. And that case study for Billfinger absolutely proves that. We'd happily share that with anyone who's interested after this. And you know what? If someone's really interested in this platform, we can happily set up a demonstration at one of our depots. Or to be fair, if we've got one available locally, we could bring it down and do a demonstration on site. It is one of those machines you just have to see. Whilst the video and the presentation, I'm sure, it does a certain amount of justice, there's nothing like actually seeing this machine in the flesh to put it to task.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that presentation there, Matt. As I said, all of our attendees, the recording of this presentation will be available if you want to share it with any of your colleagues or rewatch at a later date. And there should be some contact information on the emails that go out after this. So if you do have any questions that come up at a later time, please just let us know, and we're more than pleased to answer those for you. So yes, thank you very much for everyone who attended, and hopefully we'll see you again at some of our future webinars. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.